Good luck.
Hey there Pips, how's it hanging? I'm AppleMoto because why not? You know, ever since I saw the new Star Wars, what was it? 3 months ago, wow. Time really got away from me. I guess that's what happens when you spend all your free time making heavily edited Let's Play videos. Anyway, it got me thinking about another band of plucky young star pilots taking on an evil galactic empire. That's why today, I'm talking about Star Fox.
Up ahead. Let's rock and roll.
Oh, not this Star Fox. Or this one. Oh, definitely not this one.
I'm hungry.
No, for this review we're going all the way back to 1993. So grab your cool dude shades and set your cap from practical to radical, as we take a look at the original Star Fox, or as it was known in my neck of the woods, Star Wing. Now,
for the sake of full disclosure, yes, I am playing this on an emulator. Terrible, I know. And whereas I do try and play all my games on their original console, unfortunately both my Super Nintendo and my backup Super Nintendo both decided to stop working. So there was really nothing I could do. I just hope that you guys can find it in your heart to forgive me, and maybe we can move on from this. Together. I'm gonna get back to editing. Enjoy the rest of the video.
you take control of Ace Star Pilot Fox McCloud, hired by the Canarian Army's General Pepper, to halt the encroaching invasion of the evil Emperor Andros. And that's it, that's the plot. This space-based rail shooter came straight from the mind of game designer guru himself, Shigeru Miyamoto. You know, the creator of Mario and Zelda? Man, this game. I adore this game. See, I grew up with shows like and then along comes a game that has you engage in epic space battles, square off against giant boss robots. More space battle, okay, it was mainly just space battles, but either way, it was like this game was made for me. It blew my mind. I mean, look at it. It's 3D. And yeah, I get it's pretty basic by today's standards, but this was 23 years ago. Games at the time looked like this. Let me stop you right there. I am of course referring to consoles, so don't get your FOV sliders in a twist. We all know PC's always been light years ahead of everyone else. One thing I will say for this game is it's amazing at setting a scene. I mean, just look at the framing of this opening. Or here where you have to shoot out the legs of giant walking tanks on a planet of ice. Or when you actually fly into the enemy space station and destroy its core. Wait, is it just me or does this seem a little bit familiar? Wow, even the clock wipe. Okay. This would also be our first outing with the now iconic anthropomorphic guns for hire, Team Star Fox. The aforementioned Fox McCloud, charismatic and heroic leader of the bunch. Peppy hair, veteran star pilot and stater of the obvious. Falco Lombardi, brash, hot-headed, and all-round ornery. Ornery. Like, with an I? As in ornithology? The study of birds? You know what? Fine. He's cocky. Anyway, where was I? Oh, yeah. The last member of the team. Slippy Toad. You know, the walking punchline. But hold on a minute. Now, I'm not above ripping on characters just to get a laugh, but I always felt like Slippy got such a rough deal, and honestly, I never really understood what everyone had against him. He was always my favourite. Let me remind you, he's a mechanic. The engineer responsible for designing all of Star Fox's vehicles, their weapon and defense systems, and developing the R-Wing's advanced maneuver capabilities, allowing the team to literally fly rings around the competition. But he's not content to just sit on the sidelines. He's willing to stake his own life on his inventions. And what's more, he can also provide adaptive real-time analysis of enemy defenses, including those of living organisms and bioweapons. Can Falco do that? No, he's probably too busy not checking his G-diffuser, which Slippy also invented. I mean, sure, he gets himself into trouble sometimes. I mean, when it comes to dogfights, he's pretty green, and don't you dare. So yeah, maybe he's not the best star pilot, but he must have some talent. It's not like Fox just lets anyone into the team.
Wow, she's beautiful.
One thing I've never understood is why Nintendo never really merchandised these characters. I would have bought them in less than 12 parsecs. I mean,
Bucky! Captain Bucky O'Hare!
was only on TV for like 3 months, and I got the entire toy line. I don't even know who this guy is, but I wanted him.
And I sure as heck threw a tantrum until I got him. I was not a pleasant child. Cute, but not pleasant.
One of the things I loved about this game, and by extension the series, was the way that your team would interact with you. Like how excited Slippy gets when he's showing off, or the way Peppy would look out for you and give you advice, or the way Falco would just be unnecessarily mean. It's hurtful, man. It's hurtful. What's more is your team could actually take damage, be it from enemy fighters or by you accidentally shooting them. It just made the whole thing feel a lot more real. And yes, I am aware I'm talking about a fox in a spaceship, but to me it really felt like these guys were my buds and we were in it together. The game opens with you selecting one of 3 routes to Venom. That's where Andros lives. And this acts as the game's difficulty setting. But regardless of which path you choose, you always start out on Conaria, with one of the coolest stage openings of any 16-bit game. Even now, after all these years, it still gives me chills. And from there, you take on fleets of enemy battleships, blast your way through asteroid fields, and skillfully navigate through crumbling buildings in a futuristic cityscape. And that's not even mentioning some of the crazier things this game throws at you. Yeah, I don't even know. And as basic as the visuals were, I'm still impressed with how much they were able to do with so little. They managed to give each stage its own unique identity, like take Titania, which is by far the best stage in the game. Your objective is to destroy the weather machine, and as soon as you do so, boom! With just a slight colour palette change, this icy wasteland is suddenly a desert. And that's what I mean, these stages are all readable. Deep space, forest planet, and this is just a straight up cookie. And the same goes for the bosses, they're all just as unique and interesting. Except this guy's terrifying. With 21 unique stages, this game felt huge, and I was having enough trouble with just the ones on the easy path. And yet, despite myself, I somehow made it to Venom, the enemy base in sight. I had made it past all of his ships, all of his traps. This was it. This would be the final confrontation. And what form does this galactic menace take? A giant polygonal face that spits squares at you. Oh shush, it was still pretty epic. Anyway, I eventually overcame the tyrannical topology, and with Andros destroyed, the galaxy was safe once again. Oh sweet, we even get a boss roll call. I always really like these. I wonder what Andros's weapon was. Telekinesis. Really? Okay, if you say so. Playing this game again for the video, I learnt that there are huge parts of it that I never even saw. Like this rad space whale, and basically anything past stage 2 on the hard path. I could never beat this guy. Mashing shoot didn't seem to work, and that was me out of ideas. Look, this game is by no means perfect. When it came to judging depth and spatial awareness, it was anyone's guess. You could change the camera, but that would lock your controls while it played out a rather lengthy animation. And while recording this footage, I found out that the hitboxes and screen boundaries are different between camera angles, making many things impossible to do in third-person view, whereas others were just flat out unfair in first person. I mean, look at this nonsense! I'd say it's unforgiving, but this is just downright cheap. However, with all that said, it's still a pretty solid and enjoyable game. As any of you familiar with Did You Know Gaming are probably aware, a direct sequel to the game was finished, but never released, which is a real shame as the game had some beautiful art, some new interesting mechanics, and added a couple of cute new star pilots to the lineup. Wait, Does saying that make me a furry? More or less all of the elements from that cancelled game have since been recycled for later installments, the most recent of which being the Walker transformation in the upcoming Star Fox Zero, which I am super excited about, by the way. And hey, if they're bringing back the Mecha Chicken, then just maybe. Wildcat Bay confirmed? Hey, a guy can dream. As much as I love the original game, even I have to acknowledge the fact that Lilac Wars and its 3DS remake are basically the same game, just objectively better. But you gotta respect the series' origins, and its place in gaming history. It was revolutionary, and all made possible thanks to a partnership between Nintendo and Argonaut Software, resulting in the creation of the Super Effects chip. But even disregarding all that, if you ask me, the original was worth playing just for the soundtrack alone. Hajime Hirasawa worked some real magic on these tunes. You know, before disappearing into complete obscurity. I'll never forget you, man. Starwing is probably the game most responsible for igniting my passion of space games, and likely why I gravitated more to Mass Effect rather than Dragon Age, or StarCraft rather than Warcraft, or Space Channel 5 rather than... I guess there hasn't really been a groovy news reporter-themed rhythm game set in the Middle Ages. What would you even call that? Like, Town Crier V? Either way, someone should really get on that.
You know, I never realized just how much of an impact this game had on me and how much it influenced so many of my gaming choices. It's kind of crazy when you think about it. This game really did mean a lot to me. But hey, that's enough about me. What did Star Fox mean to you guys? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this retrospective look back at the origins of such an iconic franchise. But if you'll excuse me, I have some unfinished business with a particular feathered fiend, so until next time, guys. Or as they say in the Lilac system...
Hey Pips, thanks for watching. Sorry it took me so long to get this video out. Hopefully it was worth the wait, but probably not. I'll do my best to make sure the next one comes out a little bit sooner. So who else is excited for Star Fox Zero? I personally can hardly wait, but if you need something to tide you over, why not click here and check out the Lilac Wars playthrough I did over on my Let's Play channel. Alternatively, you could check out my last video on my personal top 10 favourite rhythm games. I don't know, I think it's pretty good. And hey, if you like what I do and want to support the channel, then why not leave a like, or maybe consider subscribing? Seriously, it really helps me out. Oh, and I have a Twitter now, so you can follow me, if that's your thing. Anyway, I'm gonna go see if I can find a Bucky O'Hare box set online. Again, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, guys.